And we are back here on the Triple Over Radio Show, of course, an alternative means of psychedelic masturbation. We are back. It's always good to be back, even though we were just here a second ago, but we're back just that quick. Anyway, of course, in case you forgot everybody was here, of course, Genergy is still here with us, rocking with us. Hardy Brooklyn, of course, still here in the place with us. But the lady of the hour finally has made it here off a world tour. Well, that sounded good, but you know, she's finally made it here. Darcel Turner. Darcel Turner.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
How are you?
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me, Will BK.
Oh gosh, why do you sound like your voice has a dress on? I'm just, it just sounds so slinky and just so seductive. I haven't seen you in a long time. When's the last time we saw each other?
I think it was like 2 years ago, right?
At least two
Maybe
or 3 years ago.
Yeah, because I had dreads. I had dreadlocks.
That's right. They were blonde.
The last time we was here was when I think Aretha Franklin had passed away.
Was it?
Yeah, because I did a tribute that same day. I danced before I came here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Shoot, and we were here, same place,
Yeah.
S.STREET Media.
Yeah.
So we are still here in the place to be. Shoot. So you've been pretty busy. You've been trending.
I've been working on self. I've been doing this challenge called the Pure Challenge. I don't know if you know about that, but
Tell us about it.
you know, everyone is going down different, roadways in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're doing the Pure Challenge to see how pure you can be, how pure you're going, how pure you're trying to be. Like my goal is to just like knock down all my vices, everything that I'm like weak for, to just strengthen myself. So it's about being pure. Get back to that stage.
Are they vices?
Yeah, we all started looking at each other. Ooh, vices.
Vices? What's
Because
a vice?
we cater to people's vices here.
Mm.
So what are some of those vices? Are those private vices that you?
Like the things that people normally do, like masturbation.
Oh.
So that was one of my things I enjoyed. And this wasn't like,
Well-
I did it in moderation, but now I'm like, okay, I'm trying to, let me see how far I can go. Let me just see how pure I can be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, that's interesting because we're an alternative means of psychedelic masturbation here. So it's funny that you shared that with us. Was it obsessive?
No, it wasn't. It was just,
it-
cool, like moderate, but my goal is to get to the next level. I want to get to a higher level of being pure. Like no one is perfect, but my goal is to get to that point,
Does it feel sinny when you?
It feels good. I feel really powerful. I feel strong. Like I feel myself reaching different levels of me, Like
when
like
you
facing
don't when you don't masturbate. Or
Yeah, I mean, it's like I probably will do it eventually, but I'm just doing the challenge right now where I'm resisting everything that's kind of like lower body, anything that's like low frequency. That's what I'm resisting, and it feels good. I feel strong. I feel good.
Oh, okay.
A little heroin with some nipple play, you might still be able to get off.
I'm just saying. No, like cool, like because you're a resident cuddlist and you're all about energy as well. What are some? I don't know if you've taken the challenge.
I'm just hearing about the challenge now. That's why I'm interested in hearing. I don't know about the masturbation part though. To not, like, I don't see. I get what you're saying with the lower self as far as like maybe vices, like things outside of yourself. But to me, I see that as something within myself that it's okay for that
It's
to
a
have that
release.
pleasure.
There's nothing wrong with that, but this is where I am temporarily, and
Right.
this is
And it's part of the challenge,
It's
right?
a part of the challenge.
Right.
I mean, whatever you feel is like, it's not like I'm trying to evolve. So whoever wants to evolve to get to the next level, to be more like your higher self, is more like getting more to your pure side, your childlike side, your innocent side,
Right.
that type of. You know what I mean?
So I think to put it in context, would you say before the challenge, did you masturbate more or less than Will?
It was moderate, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like everybody does that,
Yeah.
So that's why I just put that out there. But
That's a good
yeah,
advice.
I'm just, trying something different.
Yeah, because we here at the show we try to be empathetic because you told me not to say sympathetic anymore. But we try to be empathetic to those hidden desires that people tend to keep hidden.
Right.
But there's a whole community of us. Well, depending on what us in the community you're talking about, that some about the, you know,
The three of us, he's just talking about specifically.
Yeah.
It's not a whole community. It's just us three.
We're a little bit more hedonistic.
Yeah.
The hedonistic side of the world.
yeah.
Okay.
So how long have you been doing the challenge so far?
About 3 weeks.
What else is part of the challenge?
Just being self-aware, and not being, self-aware and not being what I'm used to being. I'm trying something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like not being driven by your lower self.
Yeah,
So does that
lower
come,
self,
does that
yes.
come into it as far as communication with people too, like and being kind to people and
that
you know
that
being
plays
loving
a
the
part.
way that you
Yes,
speak?
yes,
Okay.
being kind, being loving, being compassionate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See how that works.
Okay.
You know, any lower feelings, like anything that makes you feel low, like maybe depressed or whatever. Raise it, raise that frequency, raise the vibration. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I'm at, and I'm experiencing it. It feels kind of good. You know, I like it.
So-
So let's see
so
how
that-
far I can go.
So how is that affecting your root chakra then?
Good question. I feel strong. I really
Would
do.
you, are you
I feel
celibate? Do you mind me
controlled.
asking? Are you
Yeah,
celibate? So
yeah, I
you're
am.
celibate. Okay.
I'm
I didn't know if it
abstinent,
was
yeah.
just as far as masturbation or you know what I mean.
I just don't want to entertain anything lower body.
Okay.
I want to focus on everything that's upper for now, and then I don't know. But this is something that's working right now. I feel good.
So there's so much that we didn't even touch on about you. Let's see, you're a mother of 4. You know, you used to be a former health chair of the Newborg Highland Falls NAACP.
Yes.
I mean,
And
you
a
were,
dancer? You just said you were dancing?
Yeah, I used to burlesque. I used to dance.
Oh,
I used
wow.
to.
you were a Reiki practitioner.
Yes, I am.
You were an intuitive life coach and a former labor and postpartum doula.
Yes.
I mean, you practice in holistic, a holistic lifestyle and
Yeah, I
eating
think that's
vegan.
my last stop. Yeah, that's my last stop, being vegan. This holistic lifestyle is where I belong. I feel like that's my purpose. And I'm healing through my words. Everything that's surrounding me, I'm doing the healing work, you know. And I feel like if I'm going to be doing Reiki and all sorts of stuff, let me do that pure challenge and see how strong it can, how strong
high
my...
you can raise that vibration.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you're going to be saying. Oh, so
I'm feeling her strong vibration by that's why I said
so do you
Give
so
thanks.
so you do you chant? Do you use chant? Do you chant?
I
and
do a little bit of everything. Whatever, yeah, I meditate, you know what I mean? I pray, you know, I write. I do everything that's I try to be my better self than I was last year and the year before that.
Okay. When you use all of these different aspects of healing and
practices.
practices? Thank you very much. I mean, is there a particular higher being that you pray to? Is it God? Is it Allah? Is it
It's
just
just the creator. It's really simple. It's not that hard, you know? Just this God. God is inside of me. God is inside of you. When we all come together, we're one. It's oneness. When we all unite, that's all God. Right? So it's really simple. Just the creator, God. I have no religion. I'm just spiritual. I believe that there's only one creator.
Has there? But did you as you went through your journey seeking a higher calling?
Yeah.
Did you try other religions?
Yes,
did you
I
try
did.
other practices?
Yes, I did.
What were some of the shortcomings that you came across with these? If
I don't want to make anybody upset, but I feel like, you know, I was Christian, I was Pentecostal, I was many different Baptists. In that field, you know, there was a lot of giving up your power to, you know, Jesus. And I don't know, it was just a lot of judgmental things going on, and I just didn't feel free, you know, I really didn't. And I feel like I shouldn't have to die to go to heaven, so that didn't work for me. And then I went to Islam, and it was a lot of praying, you know, 5 times a day. And after a while, I was up to like maybe 100 salats I had to do. I was like, I can't do it was just too much. But it's a beautiful religion. I don't
Ramadan.
knock. Yeah, Ramadan, all of that. I don't knock it. I used to wear the knee cap. I was like, yeah, I was all covered up.
wow.
Carved up.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was nice. It's a beautiful religion. But it's still within who I am. You know, I'm a free spirit. by birth.
It's nature. Yeah,
Yeah,
your
it's just
nature.
my birthright.
Mhm.
It's in my mother. My mother, she was a free spirit, so I'm just that. And from being in a Muslima, Islam, I went to Buddhism. You know, I did my Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and that's really powerful. Ooh, kind of scared me because things was moving so fast. I was like, whoa, let me just let me just slow down a little bit. Like, you know, it was very powerful. That was good, but I was still not free. I just didn't feel free. I just felt like, okay, I have to follow these rules, and that's not who I am. I'm a free spirit. So then I just said, you know what, I'm going to just embrace the Creator, and we'll just be one. And I started doing my healing work. I became certified as a Reiki practitioner, and I felt like, okay, I've always had the healing hands. I just didn't know how to channel it because I was afraid. I didn't want people to drain me, you know, because you can get drained doing certain things. So I was like, let me just, so I feel like the Reiki is a wonderful way for me to heal because I don't ever get drained. And healing and doing the Talk to Darcel, I have Talk to Darcel where I give women or men, you know, advice, counsel. I'm very intuitive, so I give them whatever comes to me. I give them their reading and direction, guidance, you know. So yeah, so that's. I feel like this is my last stop, which is the healing world. This is what I'm here to do. I've always had it, but I just didn't know. I didn't have a channel, you know. So everything is falling into place now. I'm like, well, why do I have these books, and why am I doing this, and you know? But now it's all coming together.
Right, and then you realize it's all together.
Yes, it's all aligning itself. So the books is healing, and the Reiki is healing, and the Talk to Darcel sessions. When I talk to people, I heal them, and I give them information. I drop them jewels, you know. So it's all coming together. I'm so grateful, and thank you for everything that you're, you know.
It's our pleasure.
Now I'm going to ask you something. I also want you to try to answer as well. Don't you find it, whether you're doing your Reiki counseling, or if you're doing your cuddling, how do you disassociate if as a person that you're helping, and they're bestowing whatever their burden or their pain on you, how do you finally disassociate from it yourself?
I don't get drained.
Oh, you don't?
I don't get drained. With Reiki, I'm a vessel. So of course I say a prayer before I do my Reiki practice, and I'm just an instrument. I'm a vessel. The light comes right through me into them, so I'm getting the healing too. It's a two-way thing, you know.
I totally agree with that, with it being a two. I feel like with me, with the type of work that I do, and I see it all as energy work, really, because it's all you using your energy and just even sharing space with someone and being present with them. That's the energy right there. You can feel the buildup of that.
Absolutely.
I'm not even sure I was going to go with that. That got me really excited just to think about just the feeling that comes with that. But it's always a healing experience for me as well, as it is for my clients.
Yeah, because it's
really an even exchange.
It is, and it's more like intention. You know, your intent is to make sure that they are healed, and you're setting them light. And when you're focusing on the light, there's no way you can get drained because it's all of good intent.
Right, definitely.
And it's
positive vibes.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so wonderful. But to know you is you are just a warm, loving, just you generate this positive energy, all this love, and it's a and I know you have 4 children. What are your children's names?
Oh.
I'm on the roll.
Okay, all right, it's all good. The youngest one is King. It's spelled with a Q, Q-I-N-G. And then we have Elijah, and then we have Diani, and then we have Amani.
Beautiful names.
Give thanks.
Where are they rooted from, the names?
They're, Amani, his father gave him that name. Talib Kweli, he gave Amani the name, Amani Fela. No, I gave him, Amani Fela, and Diani, I gave her Diani, and he gave her Ashe. Those are African names, Arabic names. Elijah, you know, is from the Bible. And King is Chinese. I feel pretty hot. Can I take off this? Do I need to wear this?
If you can.
Okay. No, I have to leave it? No. Oh, good.
No. As long as you can hear us.
Okay.
Well, I really, of course I was going to ask you. I wasn't really going to ask you.
Please be free.
But I appreciate it. it. So like when I said earlier, you're somewhat trending online as it relates to Sister Jaguar.
Oh, yeah.
Calling you out and well, calling your children's father out
Right.
for not praising you, for not acknowledging, how important you were
Yeah.
for him as he was not just him coming up, but just still to this present day, still taking care of his children
Right.
and not being as present as he should be.
He's financially present.
Well,
for them.
financially present.
Emotionally, I don't know. I mean, you have to ask him. But I'm not here to judge. I'm here to inspire, and I'm here for anyone who needs healing.
Now, this is what I know. This is what I so you don't have to. Now, just correct me if I'm wrong. Because I've done some research and I've been in the industry for a little bit, so I know that you met him a long time during the OK Player.
No, I met him.
Oh,
at
thank
the-
God! See,
Yeah, I met him at the African Street Festival, and that was in 1995, I think, 1994. 1999, yeah, I think 94.
Mm-hmm.
I met him at the African Street Festival. He talked about that in one of his songs. And we was really close. It was really beautiful. He was a great, great father. In the very beginning, he would go to the store, buy the Pampers. He would do everything. He was such a sweet guy. So sweet, so quiet, and observant, very knowledgeable, very, very smart, like genius. Genius. We would talk for hours and talk about books, ISIS papers, and all sorts of stuff. He was a really, really, amazing, talented young man. So he lied to me and told me that he was 24 when I was 23. And I was like, wait. After a while, I found out that he was actually 19 years old. He was way younger than me. Yeah.
And he was saying he was older than you.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, that's a lot of confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To
Especially
really,
19 to 24. there's
okay,
yeah.
older than me, right? Not like
Wow.
19 to maybe 21, 22. No, he
Right.
says he was 24. So,
Wow.
but at that time, by that time, it was too late. I had already fallen in love with him. I was more in love with his mind. His mental was really just
The mental's
amazing.
the most important part.
absolutely.
For me.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
So, but he was true to his
He was really-
beliefs of his black nationalism.
He was
and
beautiful. He was a
and-
great man. Like, he was so dope, when he was like in his early 20s. But then once he got signed and the music industry, he started getting busy with the music industry, the influences, the egos. When I told him I'm not feeling the egos, when he snapped back at me and said, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh, he done crossed over to the
'cause
dark
you got one
side."
too.
Wow.
Okay, so I couldn't contend with that. I was like, okay,
he lost
well,
his self-worth.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, and so how difficult was it to try to? I know you tried to reconnect with them, or your family tried to reconnect with them. What was your last straw once you realized that you just couldn't?
Well, it was my last straw was when I moved out of the house, the 3-story house that he had bought. That's when money was flowing, and he started making a lot of money, and I moved out of that house and moved into a room. And I told him, I said, listen, take the kids for 6 months, and I'm going to get on my feet. So I worked my books. I went out and hit the pavement every day. I made my moves. I did what I could to make, to get myself together. It was just too much. It was too much. Verbal, mental, emotional abuse. And I was hurting. My heart was hurting. I needed to get myself together so that I can be good for my children. So exactly 6 months later, I took the kids and I moved them in with me. But my friends was looking at me like I was crazy. It was like, what are you doing? A 3-story house? You got washer, you got dryer, you got a backyard, you got a front yard. You're not even paying the bills? What is wrong with you? You going crazy? Wow. Yeah, they was looking at me like I was going crazy, but I wasn't going crazy. Mm-hmm. I had to get my sanity. I had to get my mind. I had to get my peace of mind. It was my peace of mind that I needed. I didn't have a peace of mind in the house. I didn't.
In yourself.
In myself, and my self-worth. And I was like, I can't, this is too much. And then people, and the music people's playing his music. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't, this is
just all constant
just
reminders, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, and they don't even know what I'm going through. And they're like, oh, so you're the mother? Yeah, I am, yeah. Couldn't say nothing because, oh, what? No, she's, they wouldn't believe me.
Right. And that emotional pain, people can't see that. It's not like
can't.
physical pain, like you get a black eye and it heals.
Exactly.
Somebody saying something to you, belittling you, making you feel horrible about yourself.
Yes.
That's something people can't see because it's on the inside of you.
Yeah.
And you're extremely powerful because most people cannot value themselves enough to do what you did. Most people do not have enough self-confidence to do a lot of things in this world.
Especially just being caught up in a material world that we're living in. Everything's about what you have, what your possessions are, that's what wealth is, and that's what
makes-
success is, that you
Yes.
have to be wealthy financially.
To be happy and
So
be
to walk away from that, knowing that that's not what's real and that's not what's important, that's
Yes.
really huge.
I give thanks. I give credit to my family, to my grandmother, to my mother, who showed me about love, self-love, and how to honor yourself and know your worth. I mean, I had, my self-esteem was broken. I had to find ways to build up my self-esteem,
Sure.
and I had to.
Especially
Which-
you're walking away from something that there's
Yes.
so much shine,
Shine.
and then you're walking away from that, going to a room, and then having to work to get your kids back, taking that 6 months. I'm sure that had to be really
That was
difficult
no
for you
joke.
too, being
But-
away from your children for
Of
any
course.
little bit of time. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And also on top of that, not being believed because of the person that you're laying the story against
And
is
they're
so
seen-
respected,
Yes.
so loved, so known.
Right, and they're seen just as that big star,
And-
not
and
as
you're the shadow.
human that they are.
Yes,
Yeah.
not the human that they are, and you're the shadow, and I'm holding everything down.
Right.
And you were maintaining
Being
your
strong.
self-worth.
Right. And self-respect. It was no joke. Like, just going back there, just thinking about it was, whoa, how did I do that? But that increased, that solidified my faith in the Creator,
I'm sure it built your self-esteem up a lot more too.
I had
just
to.
you knowing that you can hold it down. You don't need anybody. You just have you, and you know you can do it with just you.
When you think
Much
back,
respect.
when you think back at that, what was your first breakthrough when you on your while you were going through that? After you left and had to move into the room, what would you acknowledge your first breakthrough that? Okay, I think I can do this. Was there one for you?
Well, I realized that, I felt like I was no longer his pawn or under his control. I felt like I felt free. I didn't have no money, but I made it work. I worked it out. You know what I mean? So I survived, and
That in itself is empowering, I'm sure.
it was no joke. And still got to keep a smile on my face, and still got to make
Yeah,
sure that the
still
kids
play
is
the part.
okay. You know what I'm saying?
Hold it together for
Hold it
everybody else.
together.
When you're falling apart on the inside, that's tough.
Yeah.
It takes
But
a lot
prayer-
of internal work, for sure.
Prayer is was the only way that got me through.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more question about this, and then we're gonna go to a break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about your book, and then we're gonna talk about some more Reiki stuff.
Energy work.
Energy work. Now I know now Jaguar, even though she definitely screamed on him. We'll just say she screamed on him.
Yeah, like I noticed, I looked at another video and I noticed you mentioned my name again. I was like, wow, this is like 5-6 times. Okay, well, I'm not here to like judge anybody, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I'm here and I'm speaking, my truth. And I feel like she vindicated me because nobody else did, which was really interesting. So the woman who had sexual affairs with my ex, at the time he was my man, so she had sexual affairs with my my ex at the time, and she comes forward and she apologizes for what she was a part of. So I was like,
And she
wow.
did that to you personally.
No, she did it on YouTube. She did it online. She did it publicly.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, all right. I thought I was done with it. That was the past. It's like 20-something years ago, but okay, it was like a wound I thought it was sealed, but then when she revealed it, I was like, wow, she just opened up something. Okay, well, let me bring some closure to this, So having that talk on Storm's interview, that was very freeing for me. It was more about what closure for me than anything else, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus because if I wanted to, I could have. There's many things I could have said, but I chose not to because I'm doing the Pure Challenge.
Right.
I'm here to inspire people to get to the next level. Let's rise up. Let's apologize. Let's
Let's forgive.
Let's forgive. That is the way. Let's forgive. And it starts with you. You got to forgive the person because it's really for you. It's not really for them. They don't really care. But you got to do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Forgive yourself.
Yeah, and it was funny that you said one thing that you said all he had to tell him, all he had to do was just apologize.
That's all.
That's
People
all
just
that
want to
was-
hold on to stuff, and it's not. It's so like. What should
That's
I
where
say?
the ego, I feel like,
It's ego.
plays a big part in that.
Yeah.
I want to ask one question about that.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, was that a situation that you were aware from your intuition that was happening?
Absolutely.
And then you were probably made to feel like you were crazy and
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I would think would be something that might come up later in now this Jaguar coming out and saying what she said, because you were the one who went through that.
Yeah.
And you're being told, oh no, it's not that, and your intuition is telling you something completely different.
gotta listen to your
and
intuition.
I think we go through that, especially in our youth, where we don't listen to our intuition because
Right.
it's always there talking to us, but we get distracted with what's in front of us, and
Yeah.
you know.
And
we forget
unfortunately,
about it.
and it's unfortunate that we don't have like the people to guide us. For us to listen to it. I tell my children, listen to your intuition. You know, it's very important because it's like that's your guide.
Right,
You know, because when I'm not here, you got to listen to yourself, your intuition.
for sure.
But it was no joke. That was no joke. Yeah, I looked crazy. I didn't care. I had to follow my heart and what the Creator was guiding me. You know what I mean? You gotta do the right thing for yourself.
Absolutely. So hopefully y'all can listen to me and let everyone know we're going to be right back with more of Darcel Turner on the Triple Radio Show. Your boy Will BK, Jenna G, Hardy Brooklyn. We'll be right back.